Welcome to the Connecting with Care podcast, where we believe in valuing humanity, engaging spirituality, and promoting equity through our teaching, research, and service. I'm Curtis Sozaki.
And I'm Zach Winterroad. Today, we are joined by Dr. Christen Argueta, the MSW Online Program Director at the Garland School of Social Work.
Dr. Argueta brings a unique perspective as both a former student and a faculty member, and she shares how the school's intentional and high-touch approach supports students no matter where they are.
We'll also dive into the importance of mentorship, the power of collaborative learning, and why knowing your why is key to success in social work. Let's get started.
Hello, Professor Christen Argueta. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Garland School of Social Work podcast. So excited to get to know you. Thanks for being here.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm always happy to get on and talk about something I love so much, which is this school and this program.
Well, I so appreciate just our partnership and our work together. And I'm excited for our community to be able to get to know you a little bit more, but also really explore the relationship between students and faculty that is really at the core and heart of who we are at the Diana R. Garland School of Social Work. And so we hope that during our time, we can highlight what graduate assistantship looks like, what mentorship specifically looks like in our program, what the support systems and collaborative learning experience are here in our unique community. And so before we get started, Professor Argueta, would you be able to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Christen Argueta. I serve as the MSW Online Program Director here for the school, but I'm also an associate clinical faculty member. Or clinical associate faculty member is probably the right thing to say. But I have also had the honor of being a student here a long time ago, and it has impacted my life dearly. And one of the reasons I care about being here so much is that I want to make sure that I give back everything that I believe was given to me that changed and shaped my life. So the Garland School means a lot to me. To me in a nutshell, I'm distant. That's something that's helpful too. So I much like our online students, I don't live in the Waco area. I actually live in St. Louis, Missouri. So I get to experience some of that, some of the distance joys and how neat it is to really push for high quality distance programming, but also some of the struggles that it feels like when you're distant and you're a distant student sometimes and a faculty member.
Fantastic. So we're going to dive into a rapid fire question. So what is one word to describe where you're living?
So I live in St. Louis. The word would be confluence.
Okay. Do you want to unpack that at all?
Yeah. So St. Louis is amazing. Well, you asked one word, Curtis. Unpacking means I get to use lots of words.
I know, but that was a good one. So some of these I'm like, okay, cool, moving on. But that was a good one.
So St. Louis is beautiful, but one of the things that makes it so beautiful is a merging of so many different things. We are several different municipalities outside of St. Louis proper that brings different perspectives, cultures, geographical influence, including architecture and people. So there's really just a merging of everything in this city. And that's the thing I love about it most. So that's how I would describe St. Louis.
Well, can't wait to visit. With that being said, what is your go-to order at your favorite coffee shop, tea house, whatever that may be?
Yeah, so this one will probably be like a got it, moving on, but it's a lavender honey chai tea latte.
Incredible. Got it, moving on. Describe your ideal day off in 3 words.
Gosh, that's a good one. Connection, comfort, family.
Oh, incredible. Absolutely love that. And so shifting gears a little bit to kind of our podcast questions about the Garland School of Social Work. We've been asking this question to all of our colleagues, which has been so great. And so Dr. Argueta, how have you seen the Garland School of Social Work prepare social workers for worldwide service and leadership?
Yeah, so I love this question because I think it can come from so many angles, but the way I see it happening is through intentionality. And so I really look at, especially getting to sit from the unique position of somewhat administration and program director, I get to see the intentionality behind the curriculum where we really, really focus on our students getting the highest and best experiences so that they are more than competent when they go out into the field. They're ready. And that comes with it. That comes with so much responsibility, right? Saying we are graduating students out in the field. This isn't, I think all professions come with a certain sense of responsibility, but this profession comes with the responsibility of service to others. And that means that we owe a great deal to the people we're seeking to serve. And so I think our intentionality around our curriculum really helps us assist and push our students to be the best that they can be. Not the best ever. I think that's always an overinflation, right? Be the best ever. Be the best you. Be the best you, bringing your unique gifts and space and everything that makes you who you are. We want to support that. We want to flourish that. We want to build space for that to root and grow. And so I think we're very intentional about our curriculum helping in those things. You match that intentionality over curriculum with high touch support. So when you come into our program, you're not alone. No matter if you are in Missouri or you are in Alaska or you are all over the 50 states, or if you're sitting in Waco, Texas, you're going to be met with people who want to support you through this journey, who are there to answer questions, who are there to ensure that you are not a number, but you are a human, and that we are able to look at you and ensure that you are getting the space, the attention, the needs that we hope you one day give your clients. So it really is a mix of intentionality and high touch support.
That's absolutely incredible. And so with students bringing the fullness of who they are into spaces, how does the collaborative learning environment at GSSW contribute to their student success?
Yeah, so I love this. So I think it starts from the ground, right? Like what that means is that we're creating an environment. This environment creates an ability for them to, and you hear it in places where they say, dare to fail, dare to fail. For a long time, that was one of my favorite things to say as a professor, dare to fail. But I would say now that I've grown that, shifted it a bit to say, dare to learn. We are really bringing you in here to say, okay, this collaborative environment is pushing you to learn, pushing you to grow, pushing you to excel, to succeed in the areas that you find best for you. And so I really want to see my students opening themselves up to being vulnerable and learning, opening themselves up to learning. What do they have to gain from this program? This isn't just a program where you come in and you say, here, I'm going to slap you with a diploma. But instead, this is a program where it says, hey, how are we going to change? How are we going to change? How are we going to grow? How are we going to root? How are we going to do all the things that it takes to become a realized self and then to give that space to someone else? So I think that's what this collaborative learning environment does, is it says, okay, we're providing you an opportunity to dare to learn. We want to work with you in that. We want to support you in that. We want to be the pillars that kind of hold you up when you're shaky in that. But let's learn together. Let's do this. We have to do that in order to help the people who we want to help.
Yeah, I love that. Dr. Argueta, just the opportunity to spend time with you and the fact that students get to be in the classroom with, just a remarkable faculty, not just dedicated to Carnegie One research, the top tier research in higher education, but also this, what we love to say are the high touch relationships that faculty and students get to have with not just their faculty, but also those who support them, their student success team. But the privilege of working with the best of the best social work faculty, practitioners, social workers, and therapists is such a gift. And so we have a variety of different ways that relationship is cultivated between students and faculty. And so would you be able to share what role do graduate assistantships and mentorship play in fostering such strong student-faculty relationships?
Yeah, so it starts with an interest. So when you say what role does it play, it can play a big role, but part of that starts with the student. It starts with you guys that are listening. What do you want to do with your life and where do you want to go? And then what we ask and what's really unique about those processes, you talked about, Curtis, about GA and mentorship. It's not something where it's like, oh, you're just going to be assigned to a random faculty member. Yeah, I think one of the things you said is true. All of our faculty, they're great. I feel lucky to walk the halls with all of these humans. But all of us have such unique points of interest, such unique points of research, things that we are passionate about, and places that we're making impact. And so where our GA and mentorship play a big role for our students is that they get to connect to one of these faculty members. They get to go online or through their courses or through interactions at the school. They get to see somebody that is aligning with what they want to do. And they get to say, hey, I have an interest here. And in their application process, they get to say, I'd like to apply with XYZ faculty. Or I'd like to have mentorship with XYZ faculty. That again ensures everything that we were saying before about this being really about this student's particular journey, because now they're not just having a GA relationship with someone who is doing something they're not interested in, but instead, when people choose, for instance, they say, I want to work with Arugeta as her graduate assistant, then I actually meet with them and say, okay, hey, what drew you to work with me? And they'll say, I like this type of research, or I want to work in, program development and strategic planning. And I'll be like, okay. And when I see that interest, just like our other faculty members do, when we see that interest, we assign them to those tasks, things that are going to help them grow professionally, right? Like, oh, okay, now I get to work on, for instance, my GA is working on a virtual lounge for students that actually gives them access. But this is starting from the ground up. She gets to create this virtual lounge for students, something she's very interested in, community development. So we get to make it very tailored to our students. And that's what makes it so wonderful. But it starts with them because they get to say, this is what I'm interested in. I also do mentorship opportunities where I meet with mentees that are just interested in higher education. But I also have a group of mentees who are interested in trauma-informed practice. And we meet all about trauma-informed practice. So it really is taking a great combination of student interest with faculty leadership and saying, okay, how do we create this perfect, unique opportunity for each individual student?
And reflecting in all of that, how do these relationships help students navigate the challenges and prepare them for their careers?
Yeah, so I think there's a balance here, Curtis. I think that, sometimes our challenges are known to us and sometimes we're walking into the challenges, right? And so there is not a lot we can do in a mentorship opportunity where we say we can see the future, but we can say, what is it that is causing you tension when you're thinking about your future social work practice? What are the things you're learning in your classroom environment that are giving you pause, or what are the things that are giving you passion? And let's talk more about those things and learn how we can either flourish that or work through and process the things that are giving you pause. So I can't always say that we are navigating the challenges they're going to have, but what I can say is when a student really leans into these relationships, the beauty is that it's not finite, right? Like I think sometimes students say, oh, I had Arugeta, she was my mentor, and I graduate in 2023, or I graduate in 2024, I graduate in 2027, who knows? But the really neat thing about it is some of the mentorship relationships that I've made and the GA relationships that I've made, I still love to assist and help in their ongoing life. So I have students who will call me after they've graduated and say, hey, Arugeta, I have a question for you. This is what's going on. And I'll say, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk through it. So I think these relationships get to be as fervent and as important and put to the forefront as you want them to be. As Garland School faculty, we really, really, really enjoy getting to know our students on a human level, getting to talk with them, getting to understand what's going on in their lives. And also we have such immense pride over everything they've accomplished after graduation and continue to accomplish that we love to be as much of a part of your continued life as you want us to be. So for me as a student, I got to hold on to people like Dennis Myers, Dr. Dennis Myers, or Dr. Helen Harris after I graduated and called them when I was in the field and said, hey, talk to me about these things. Do you have some time? And they'd be like, yes. And I hope to continue that as a faculty member for students who might have that connection with me. So I think as long we can navigate some maybe perceived potential challenges, but the great thing is that we're here and we still get to help people navigate when those challenges do arise.
That's incredible. Thinking about future students, graduate assistants, and mentees in the Garland School of Social Work who are exploring their career in social work, what advice would you give to prospective students exploring their career in social work here at the Garland School?
Yeah, this is my favorite question because I could give just a million, right? But the one that sticks out to me more than anything else is know your why. Know your why. Why are you here? Why do you want to serve others? And I think so quickly, what I tell my students is that so quickly, sometimes we go to, I'm here because I want to help. I'm here because I want to do X, Y, Z. And I would push you and challenge you. If I were your faculty member, I would push you and challenge you to say, go deeper. What's your internal why? What is your internal motivations and drivers that have you waking up every morning to seek to serve? Because that is the thing that will keep you going. That is the thing that will get you through your time here in the Garland School. That'll get you through the papers and the reading and the things that you have in front of you. But it's also really holding on to that gets you through the challenges post-graduation and in the field. So know your why. Know what it is that has made this so important. There's something in you that is justified in making you feel like, I need to do this. This isn't a profession that you're like, oh, I'll hop into social work, right? Most people have a need for social work. They want to give back for some reason. So helping is valiant and wonderful. But what's the root of the helping? What is it inside each and every one of you that tells you, I have to do this? And when you figure that out, hold it dear and let it be something that walks you through this process and through your profession.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Dr. Christen Argueta, for taking the time to share such inspiring, exciting, and motivating words for both our current students seeking to lean in more to those relationships with their faculty, but then also casting a vision of what this could look like for prospective students in the future. And so thank you so much. Looking forward to future conversation. And thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Curtis. And thank you, everyone. I look forward to getting to meet you in person or getting to see you in classes. So thank you.
Every time I connect with Christen, I am just so energized and excited about the field of social work. It was such a great conversation. Christen really highlighted the importance of relationships and mentorship that shapes the world of social work and our journey together.
Yeah, and I loved how she emphasized intentionality, not just in the coursework, but in the way that students are supported throughout their education and beyond.
Absolutely. The idea of knowing your why really stuck out to me and is so important to who I am today. I reflect on it daily. It's such a grounding principle and practice for anyone pursuing social work and leadership in their everyday life.
Yeah, and it's also so clear that at the Garland School, that why, that sense of purpose is cultivated through the meaningful connections with faculty, with staff, with mentors, and peers.
Well, there it is. Another great episode. Today was fantastic. Thanks for tuning in to the Connecting with Care podcast. We'll see you next time.